I can imagine that just knowing this information, okay, our company is now being taken over or is supposed to be taken over, or it has already happened and we are only finding out. Afterwards, there are different approaches. Of course, so I assume this is definitely a challenge for everyone involved, just the human aspect. So now the question is, are there any do's and don'ts? So are there any do's and don'ts that I should definitely avoid when something like this happens?
That's a good point. Why am I worrying about losing my job? Maybe I should focus on the opportunities that might be waiting for me. So very often, especially in the early stages, I talk about other clients where employees have made careers that they would never have achieved if everything had stayed the same as it was before. Yes, really an employee who was at clerk level, who suddenly became responsible for Europe, simply seized her opportunity, or simply saying, hey, I can gain so many experiences, so I would wish more for that, just to keep this openness, to see, okay, this can actually be quite good. Yes, that would definitely be what I would advise everyone to do, and I do. And the other thing is really what you said, not communicating. We know that not communicating is not an option. I mean, I also convey something when I do nothing. That means not being stuck in the situation. It also doesn't mean running towards others with a beaming smile. But what is in between? How can I see the benefit in this for myself to say, okay, it's hard for me now, but afterwards I will have more clarity? Yes, the classic grapevine, which, spreads everything in the loudest tones. They supposedly know everything in advance. And really consider this point. Maybe those people shouldn't be involved. Maybe I shouldn't participate in that. Maybe these shouldn't be the people I talk to, but rather people who, as the example has shown, have experienced it themselves. Yes, and even what they have experienced doesn't have to become my reality. 2001, and this story really to say. I take my chance through all of it. The opportunity doesn't even have to lie within the company. I can also say in 3 months, okay, it was nice with you all. And another employer might say, oh, you went through a takeover, great. Yes, we already know you can adapt if necessary, you can speak English or whatever. And this combination and, yes, thinking that everything will stay the same, that's actually the worst. Nothing is changing here at all. Many management teams say that at the beginning, and it resonates years later that they felt lied to. We're talking about the classic medium-sized business, in my example, 200, 300 employees with a boss, let's say, that you've always known since you started there and who lies to you. Very difficult.
Yes, I imagine that would be difficult. And I can empathize with this even years later, because it's not necessarily that someone intentionally lied, but rather they made a promise they couldn't keep. When you move in with your partner, there are new dynamics at play. Well, it can't be any other way because different worlds are coming together, and it will be the same in such a company. And some things need to happen and change so that the next step can possibly be taken